Ladies, I'm here on the show. And I'm here tonight on the show. And we're here to talk about some wrestling news, ladies and gentlemen. Here for episode number 28. Already reaching near episode 30 of the wrestling news. So we're here to talk about the wrestling. What I'm going to talk about first thing is AEW. They announced Canada is a debut set for October 2022. I think it's October 12th on Wednesday. So that should be very fun. Canada's going to get a great show there in AEW. The Canada fans that have wanted a show there, I know one new wrestling YouTuber, Solo Monster or something, he's been pushing for an AEW show in Canada. So I think he's very pumped right now that they're gonna have a.
I would say, based on what I'm looking at right now, poor Hope Pearson out there being a trooper.
So
I would say that's,
I think he's very happy, very happy that AEW's now going to show in Canada. And maybe Kenny Omega, he's been out, maybe he'll return in Canada and get a big pop from the Canada crowd. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm pretty sure Soul Monster's very happy. Wrestling YouTuber, so yeah. Next thing I want to talk about is Tyson O'Neil. He said his in-ring return will happen eventually, but there's no timetable. So he's basically saying there's no timetable for his wrestling return. That he wants it to happen like naturally. He doesn't want to force it to come back. Announce when he's going to come back. His last match was, I believe, like a United States Championship match in 2020 against Bobby Lashley, where he lost in like under 90 seconds. So that's his last match. He's been working now as WWE's global ambassador. So I think he'll come back in the ring, but I don't think he'll be anytime soon. I think he'll continue to work as WWE's global ambassador, and he wants it to happen at a good time. Wants it to make sense when he does come back to the ring. So.
Crazy to see that. We walk through that parking lot every morning, every day, and I've never seen water that high. I've only been here for a year, but still.
Yeah.
Cameron, I've been here 15. I've never seen water this high in our parking lot.
But yeah, next thing, CM Punk, he doesn't believe the culture in WWE will change, and he cites how WWE handled the Brock Lesnar situation. So yeah. Basically what he was saying was like they didn't say like Brock Lesnar was like unprofessional when he walked out. I know he did show up, but he only showed up because there's a SummerSlam, because SummerSlam's this weekend, and he wanted that paycheck, and he wanted that main event against Roman Reigns. So it'll be their last match they have, hopefully, for Christ's sake. But they didn't call Brock Lesnar unprofessional. The commentators didn't call him unprofessional. And I have to agree here with CM Punk. I don't think the culture WWE will change. Well, I mean, it kind of has. I kind of disagree there. Let me say I agree with that. I think it'll change with Vince McMahon gone. Now they have Stephanie McMahon and Triple H in charge with Nick Khan. But I agree with them how they handled the Brock Lesnar situation. They didn't call out him, but when CM Punk walked out, they called him a quitter. They called Sasha Banks and Naomi a quitter. They called them unprofessional, but they didn't call Brock Lesnar unprofessional. And that's really my main problem with this. And Sasha Banks and Naomi proved them correct, because they're doing nothing with the tag team titles, because they have no tag teams they can put them on. So Sasha and Naomi proved them right. But now Triple H has come back, and Stephanie McMahon, they're trying to talk Sasha Banks into coming back, and Naomi. But if Triple H can't get Sasha back, he loves Sasha, per reports, I'm pretty sure. But if he can't get Sasha back, then she's not coming back. But she might come back, I don't know. Freddie Prinze Jr., he said Kevin Dunn could kill pitches by saying, I don't think she's pretty. So he always, a few days ago it came out, like, he didn't think Becky Lynch was pretty enough to be the champion, which is fucking stupid. He would basically kill pitches by, like, saying, I don't think she's pretty, and they'd have to go, like, find, like, a pretty, like, woman in the company that they can put the championship on, because Kevin Dunn wanted a pretty woman as the champion, which I think is stupid. Like good looks is fine and all, but If you can't wrestle, then you don't deserve to be champion. You need to be. I mean, I'd like to see you have good looks and wrestle good. If you have the good looks, can't wrestle, you don't deserve to be champion. WWE NXT 2.0 on July 26th. It dropped the highest viewership in a month. Demo rating stays the same. I think it was like 0.3 or something like that, 0.15 in the 1849. It was up 600. It was 600,000 viewers, up from 588,000 viewers last week. So so good for the ratings go. Triple H's first show back on NXT. So yeah, Big E, he says that he's taking care of me. Taking care of me. There's been no medical expense on my end, so they taking care of the medical expense on his end. He with his medical staff, he hasn't had to. There's been no medical. He hasn't had to basically spend money. That did he be taking care of him with the treatment and his neck after that scary injury on SmackDown a few months ago. So yeah, Riddle versus Seth Rollins is pulled from SummerSlam. I think this is a work on the injury. I think the Riddle injury is a work, but his match with Seth Rollins is off SummerSlam. But Rollins is too good to be left off the show. So like, what do you do with him? And you gotta remember, he laughed in Roman's face on Monday Night Raw. So, wonder what this has to do. What do they do? Randy Orton come back? Do they have Gunther face Seth Rollins? Do they bring up Carmelo Hayes from NXT to face Seth Rollins? Does Johnny Gargano come back? Or you could do AJ Styles versus Seth Rollins. Do you do maybe Edge? But it could be Carmelo Hayes. I'm gonna say it's Carmelo Hayes. NXT, because Triple H is running the show. He wants to have a big match. He wants to have a big SummerSlam. He runs NXT 2.0 now. Carmelo Hayes. I want to see Carmelo Hayes. You gotta see what you have in Carmelo Hayes. So, yeah. But maybe it's Randy Orton. But it could be Solo Sikoa, because you gotta remember he laughed in Roman Reigns' face on Monday Night Raw, so it could be a Solo Sikoa, because he's related to the Usos, related to the bloodline. So yeah. Philly gets WrestleMania 40, so this makes sense. They've had some WrestleManias there, so that crowd should be electric for WrestleMania 40. Tony Khan, he's amused that people think changes in WWE will basically lead to some of the people that jumped from WWE, where they weren't happy, moved to AEW, that they jumped back to WWE. He basically said Malachi Black has 5 years left, Adam Cole has 5 years on his contract. They signed multi-year deals. This makes sense. I don't think they just jump back to WWE just because Triple H come back. They've made their deal with AEW. So that's basically what he's saying. He's amused like people think that would happen, that they've moved from back from AEW to WWE just because Triple H now in charge. So yeah, I just don't think that happened. They just go from WWE to AEW, just jump back to WWE. So yeah, Ric Flair, he wants to do a dive to the outside in his last match. He's basically putting the term a suicide dive may have a no meaning after Sunday, dude. Like, so Ric Flair wanted to do a dive from the top rope to the floor in his final match, and Charlotte had to put a stop to it. You know, this fucking guy's been watching Sting in AEW thinking if he can do it, I can do it. You've seen Sting doing that in AEW. He's like, if he can do it, I can do it. Well, he's the Stinger. So, gosh, hopefully he doesn't do a dive. If he does, he might die. Baron Corbin, he wants to wrestle 5 to 10 more years. He said he wanted to wrestle 5 to 10 more years before moving into the cooking world, which I found interesting. He's 37 now. He'll be 42 in 5 years. In 10 years, he'd be like 47. So this makes a lot of sense that he'd want to do something after that'd be the next like 5, 10 years most likely. So yeah, this makes sense.
Yeah, I just kind of want to see if I can visually describe.
So yeah, this makes sense. Last thing I'll talk about is Vince McMahon. There was something that came out a few days ago, like they'd have to like do something with him in creative, because he would even get upset something like most stupidest things, like some of those like stupidest things, and like in the backstage. So yeah, just crazy shit, man. Crazy shit. But yeah, that's all I have to say for this video, ladies and gentlemen. Until next time, I thank you for watching.